Hello, it is Wednesday, October the 17th, the year 2012, and as usual, sports fans, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Today I'm going to do all the college football. I'm going to give you all my picks. I'm going to tell you all the games to keep an eye on, all the must-watch games to keep an eye on this week. Before I get to the college football, let's touch on the baseball real quick. Tigers beat the Yankees again last night. They beat them 2-1 in another low-scoring game. Tigers go up 3-0 in the series. Tigers are going to make the World Series. There is no way the Yankees are going to win 4 in a row. Not with this lineup, not with the lack of hitting. The Yankee pitching has been great. They can't hit. They can't get a hit. They can't get a hit in a big spot. Unless they hit a home run, they don't score at all. And unless they hit a home run in the 9th inning, they don't score at all. It seems the Yankees don't score at all from innings 1 through 8, and then they start to rally in the 9th inning. Too little, too late. Tigers go up 3-0. Verlander dominant again. Yankees change the lineup. A-Rod out, Swisher out. Same results. I mean, you look at the Yankees and you got to scratch your head with all these stars in the lineup that they cannot get a hit. But that's just the case here. Also, I was thinking about this. The Yankees have major question marks going forward. I mean, they have an aging lineup. A-Rod is aging and struggling at third base. Plus, they owe him a ton of money with years left on his contract. Jeter, who we all know is great and had a great season, is going to come off, the ankle injury, the broken ankle. Who knows about that? Swisher, after this year, is going to be gone. Ichiro, what do you do with him? He's aging, although he's one of the few guys that can actually get a hit. Do you bring him back? Granderson, after next year, is going to be gone. Teixeira is getting up there a little bit. What do you do with this lineup? Major changes are going to have to be made, and they're going to have to get a lot younger real soon. Yankee pitching has been solid, but the lineup just atrocious. And we'll see what they do, but the writing is on the wall in this series. The Tigers are going to get through. I know CC is pitching today and Pettit is pitching tomorrow. Maybe the Yankees can extend it a little bit. They can't consistently hit, so they can't consistently win. Tigers are going to make the World Series, and it's amazing. The Tigers struggled to get into the playoffs. At one point in the end of the year, we thought the Tigers might not even make it. The White Sox were going to make it instead. Tigers rally, they get in, and now here they are 1 win away from the World Series, so great job by them. Real quick on the National League, San Francisco and St. Louis tied 1-1. They have a day game today, 4 o'clock Eastern Time in St. Louis. That should be a good series, should be a long series. Definitely watch that game. It's two great baseball towns, San Francisco and St. Louis. San Francisco's ballpark when they play there is just picturesque with the water in the back. And these next 3 games when they play in St. Louis, there is no better baseball town in America than St. Louis. Everyone decked out in red. So please tune into that. The National League actually looks like it's a lot better series than the American League. The American League looks like it's over already. So keep an eye on the National League. Like I said, Game 3 today, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. All right, let's get to the college football real quick. Thursday night, starting tomorrow, there's a decent game. I know many people will say, what do you mean a decent game Thursday night? Oregon, number 3 in the BCS, undefeated, scoring 1,000,000 points. Goes to Arizona State. And I know you're like, oh, Arizona State's not that good. Oregon's going to blow them out. Don't sleep on Arizona State at home. Arizona State is a completely different team on the road and home. On the road, they look bad. They don't look good at all. There's something about Arizona State when they play at home in the desert at Sun Devil Stadium. They play a lot better. I think Arizona State is going to hang in this game. Do I think they're going to win? No. I mean, Oregon, I think, will win the game. But I think Arizona State is going to make this a lot closer than people think. And those Sun Devil fans out there in the desert, a little underrated. They get a nice crowd out there at Sun Devil Stadium. So that is a good college stadium to watch a game. Definitely tune into that Thursday night. Oregon, who scores 1,000,000 points in the desert against the Devils in Arizona State. Should be a lot closer than people think. Keep an eye on it. Friday night game, Connecticut at Syracuse, nothing doing there. I mean, the Friday night games always seem to be bad for some reason. I mean, Connecticut, Syracuse, not great. Anyway, a few games to keep your eye on over the weekend. Oregon State at home is playing Utah. They're a 10-point favorite. Oregon State is home. Oregon State actually undefeated, doing a tremendous job, one of the surprise teams of college football. Their backup quarterback came in last week, no problem. They ended up beating BYU in BYU. So keep an eye on that. Oregon State undefeated, playing against Utah. I think Oregon State will get through in that game. West Virginia at home, 3 over Kansas State. Kansas State undefeated, unbelievable job by them. They've beaten Oklahoma this year at Oklahoma. West Virginia had the debacle last week at Texas Tech, where Texas Tech just blew the doors off of them last week. Let's see if West Virginia can rebound at home and actually, show some pride after they got demolished last week in Lubbock to Texas Tech. They'd made all sorts of excuses about the wind, and they couldn't throw in the wind. I mean, come on now. You can't make excuses about the wind when Texas Tech has 49 points and is putting up all sorts of offensive yardage. I mean, come on. West Virginia can be a soft team. Their defense can't stop anyone. Let's see if they show some pride here. I actually like Kansas State just because they are more balanced on both sides of the ball. And West Virginia can't stop anyone. A couple other games to keep your eye on. The big game, a big rivalry. Stanford at Cal. This game is usually played at the end of the year. Played this year in the middle of the year. Cal has actually rallied the last couple of weeks to win a couple games. They were thinking about firing the coach, buying him out. They've rallied a little bit. This is a big game for Cal. Cal really needs to win this game to save the coach's job. You know, if he has any hope of saving his job, Cal needs to win at home here. Tough game, though. Stanford is probably better. Stanford is probably a little too much for them. Cal is home in the new renovated Memorial Stadium out there in Berkeley. It looks beautiful. I think Stanford will be a little too much. I see Stanford winning a close game here. Another big rivalry game. This game is always played in the middle of the year. Michigan at home in Ann Arbor in the Big House. 10-point favorite over Michigan State. Michigan State's been very disappointing this year. We know their defense is good. They can't score. They can't score at all. I think they will hang in the game. I think Michigan will win, but I think it will be close, so keep an eye on that game. Let's go to my picks real quick here, and then I'm going to give you the must-watch games of the weekend. Picks real quick. I like Louisiana Tech at home, -30 over Idaho. Louisiana Tech can score against anyone. They've only got one loss. That was to Texas A&M. Idaho is dreadful. Idaho is on the road here. I think Idaho, when they went to North Carolina this year, lost 66-0. I think Louisiana Tech rolls in this game. Give the 30. Louisiana Tech -30 over Idaho. Georgia -27 over Kentucky at Kentucky. Kentucky is an awful, awful team. They can't beat anyone. They can't beat anyone at home, on the road. Georgia is probably stewing. They lost 2 weeks ago in a dreadful performance at South Carolina. They had 2 weeks to stew here. They should just obliterate Kentucky. I know the game is in Kentucky, so it won't be... if the game was in Georgia, I think it would be 63-0. Instead, I would say it would be 42-0 because the game's in Kentucky. Look for Georgia to just blow out Kentucky. I like Rutgers -5 over Temple at Temple. Temple has no home field advantage. They play where the Eagles play. They get like 10,000 fans a game. There'll probably be more Rutgers fans in the stadium than Temple fans. Rutgers is undefeated. Their defense will be way too much for Temple. Rutgers -5 over Temple. Clemson at home over Vatech. If you know anything about Clemson, you know they roll at home, and they always beat Vatech. They played Vatech twice last year. They beat them in Vatech by a lot. Then they played them in the ACC championship game, beat them again by a lot. Vatech having a very disappointing year. 3 losses already. They could have 4 losses. The game is in Clemson, Death Valley. Clemson will roll in this game. Clemson -8 over Vatech. USC at home, -40 over Colorado. If you're looking for a game for USC to just bust out, this is it. Look for USC to win 56-0 at home in the Coliseum. Colorado is an awful team. What do they have? 1 win this year? I mean, it's amazing they even have that. They're terrible. They get blown out every week. USC's been disappointing because they did lose. No one expected them to lose to Stanford again. They did. Look for USC to bust out this week and lay the wood on Colorado. USC -40 over Colorado. I got an interesting game for you. Number 1 team in the land, Alabama, who we all agree is the number 1 team, goes on the road this week to Tennessee. Alabama's a 20-point favorite. You look at this game, you say, Alabama's going to destroy them, right? This game is usually closer than you think. Tennessee has a knack of hanging in this game. This is a big rivalry. This is a bigger rivalry than people think. This game used to be played every 3rd Saturday in October. Then they changed it to the 4th Saturday in October. Now they're back to the 3rd Saturday in October with this game. The game is at Neyland Stadium, Tennessee. I'm going to take a chance and take Tennessee with 20 points. I say Tennessee hangs in there just because of the history of these two teams. Now, clearly, Alabama's the better team. I think they're going to win. I don't think Tennessee can win the game. I think it's going to be closer than people think, and I think Tennessee's going to hang in there. I'll take Tennessee plus 20 at home against Alabama. All right, a few games, must-watch games that you guys have to keep an eye on. Number 1, LSU, off the big win last week at against South Carolina at home, goes on the road this week and plays at Texas A&M. LSU's a 4-point favorite. Can LSU do it 2 weeks in a row? Up until last week, they were very unimpressive. They lost to Florida a couple weeks ago. They can't score. They look bad. Last week they had a coming out party. They beat South Carolina by 2 at home. Is LSU back? We'll see. I still think they have problems. Can they do it on the road? Texas A&M's only lost 1 game this year. That was to Florida. Texas A&M has a big home crowd advantage. This is a must-watch game. LSU against Texas A&M. Great atmosphere in Aggie land, down there in Texas A&M. Very interesting game. Can LSU do it on the road like they did it at home? Can they do it 2 weeks in a row? Can their offense continue to build off last week's performance? Very interesting game. BYU against Notre Dame. I expect Notre Dame to take care of business. They are undefeated. They are Notre Dame, so that that's worthy of keeping an eye on this game as well. The biggest game of the weekend, South Carolina at Florida. Florida, 3-point favorite. Florida, number 2 in the BCS. Florida undefeated. South Carolina off the big loss to LSU last week. Back on the road again this week. Can South Carolina rebound? Now, in the SEC, when you lose 1 game, you're not out of it. So South Carolina can get back into the hunt here for the national championship if they go to Florida and win. So this is a very interesting game. Florida, 3-point favorite at home. They've looked good this year, surprisingly good. Very, very interesting game. Could go either way. Like I said, South Carolina should be desperate. Florida is home. Must-watch game. Definitely watch that game on Saturday afternoon. That is a must-watch game. So we have some decent games this week. Thursday night, Oregon at Arizona State. Saturday, you got LSU at Texas A&M. You got South Carolina at Florida. You want to keep an eye on Notre Dame. You want to keep an eye on Oregon State. You got K-State, West Virginia, which is a very interesting game. You got your rivalry games, which is Michigan, Michigan State, Stanford, Cal, even Texas Tech, TCU is a nice rivalry game. And like I said, my picks, just to review. Louisiana Tech at home, -30 over Idaho. Georgia, -27 at Kentucky. Rutgers, -5 at Temple. Clemson, -8 over Virginia Tech. That game is at Clemson. Tennessee, +20 against Alabama, just to keep it close. And USC at home, -40 over a just dead Colorado team. Those are my picks. I wanted to mention one thing on the soccer last night. The USA beats Guatemala 3-1 in Kansas City last night. Great atmosphere in Kansas City last night. Nice to see all those American flags. Dempsey with 2 goals for the U.S. U.S. gets through this round. They go to the final knockout round for the World Cup. So good job by the U.S. They get through. Nice job by the crowd there in Kansas City. Good job by the United States last night. Good to see them get the win and get out of the group. They need to play better, especially on defense. They need to get some of these players healthy, especially Landon Donovan. I did want to mention the soccer, though. The next round starts in March, so we have some time for that. But I did want to mention the USA soccer. So you guys enjoy the baseball tonight. You guys enjoy the whatever else is going on in the sports world tonight. Mostly baseball tonight. You got the college football starting tomorrow. You got, obviously NFL coming up over the weekend. Tomorrow we're going to do wall-to-wall NFL. We're going to do all the games. We're going to break down all the games, all my picks, all that tomorrow, Thursday. You guys have a nice day. Enjoy the baseball. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.